Ambassador Dr. Wilson Kogo, the Kenyan ambassador to Australia and the Pacific Highland countries. Today is a great day. We've come here because of the good relationships that we have with the wonderful governments of Australia, and more so in our areas of strength. We are collaborating in the area of mining, the area of agriculture, the blue economy, areas that touch on peace of the Indian Ocean and even this region. And more so, we are celebrating 60 years of our diplomatic relations this particular year. And as we celebrate the 60 years of our diplomatic relations, we've been able to focus on what we've managed to achieve, the many things that we celebrate. And one thing that has come out very strongly is Kenya has benefited from the quality of education that is offered by Australia. The many Kenyan diaspora in Australia, majority of them, almost 90% I would say, went to Australia through student visa. Just because of the kind of relationship we have with Australia, they have been very kind enough to accommodate our students, and therefore the diaspora we have across in Australia is as a result of this. And so as we celebrate and appreciate the fact that we have come, as a country also we are saying the two nations can still strengthen the diplomatic relations in one way or the other, so that we are able to create a win-win.
John Akola, the principal of Kisii National Polytechnic. Today is a great day to us as Kisii National Polytechnic because we are really happy to have our ambassador here, and we want to thank the government of Australia and also the government of Kenya for this partnership that we have at Kisii National Polytechnic and Signet Institute of Australia. This is a partnership that is going to create more opportunity for our young people within the region to get jobs outside the country and also skill them even for the local industry. We are very grateful to the ministry for giving us support so that we can be able to sign agreement and collaborations with Signet Institute of Australia. To the people within the region, we call upon you that you bring as many Kenyans youth who are willing to come and study here. We are running the second cohort, which will start in January. The current cohort that we have comprises of about 22 trainees who are actually undergoing the training for 52 weeks. And after 52 weeks, they'll be able to be awarded different skills with accreditation from the Australian government. And therefore, they are able to work, be employed, and get job visas to Australia.
I'm happy to say that we've had fruitful discussions between the two countries. On 19th of March this year, we had a roundtable meeting in Canberra, and we had a big delegation from Kenya meeting with a big delegation from Australia. And out of that, we were able to focus on what else can be achieved moving forward. And what came out is we can still do a little bit more in the area of education, because that has been our strength for a long time. And so we agreed that we need to see more collaboration, more partnership in the area of education, and especially in Tibet, where skilling is very critical. And as I'm talking to you today, we can see Australian institutions, providers of education, crossing over to Kenya to actualize the spirit of our engagement this year in Canberra. And I'm happy to note that we have Signet Institute that has come across, and we are now partnering and ensuring that Australian accreditation is also realized back here at home. We have 8 polytechnics, Kabete, we have Nairobi, we have Eldoret, we have Kisii Polytechnic, and other polytechnics are across the country that are trying to actualize this. And so as we move forward, we are simply saying yes, our strength as a country is the young people that we have. We pride in our education that we have. But then the question that we have is, does it resonate very well with the expectations of Australia? Does it speak to the needs of Australia? And that is why we are here to say we need to be deliberate, we need to be intentional, we need to make sure that whatever we are doing here, with the good education that we are offering, we should not be oblivious of the fact that we also need to make sure that the education we have also addresses the needs of that particular country, because every other country is unique. So for Australia, what are we doing? And this is exactly what we are doing. We have education providers coming on board. It's not only StickNet. We also have Curtin University. They are also coming in very strongly in the area of mining. We have also Edith Cowan University in Western Australia. They are also coming in to also partner in the area of health, especially nursing. They are working with KMTC. We have also RMIT, that is a university in Melbourne, which is also thinking along the line of entrepreneurship. And I can go on and on and on, so many of them. We have also University of Newcastle, which is focusing on, they are working together with Kenya School of TVET for the sake of the trainers. And it is also in line with what we are doing with our national polytechnics. And therefore, as we talk today, we are positioning Kenya in such a way that going into the future, then we can tap into the low-hanging fruits in every other region, not just Australia alone. But as I'm talking to you, we have very good relationship with Australia, and we are thinking that if we did very well in the area of training and make sure that our training is up to the global standards, up to the Australian accreditation, then definitely going into the future, labor mobility will be a reality. And this is where we are focused on. Australia, of course, we know very well from the statistics that they need labor, they have a shortage. For us, we have a very young population, we have very many young people that have been trained, but then if we are going to add value to the economy of Australia, then we must make sure that our training is right, so that going forward, Australia can as well look at Kenya as a source of labor, so that moving forward we can actually support them and make sense of the diplomatic relations that we have with that country. And so I'm very happy that the Department of TVET under Esther Moria is already living to the dream and the philosophy of our president, that we need to think beyond our borders and make sure that we support our young people to get opportunities, whether it is in Kenya and whether it is also outside there. I also want to say that this is also in line with the spirit of the president, where he is saying we must not think average. We must be able to think that it is possible to move to the next level. But the enabler here is education, having the right training. So if we are going to be Singapore tomorrow and the days to come, which I believe is possible, then we must be able to make sure that our youth can be enabled to participate in supporting the economy, and also make sure that they get opportunities not only here but also outside there.
My name is Ali. I'm the Head of Sales and Marketing at Signet Global. I want to thank Ambassador Kogo for his presence here today, Signet leadership team, Dr. Akola, who and his team have put a lot of efforts in, so I wanted to appreciate everyone and thank everyone. But when we talk about labor mobility, it should be powered by skilled recognition. Otherwise, labor mobility won't work. So we need to give them skilled, which is recognized across the world. That's why Signet is here, to deliver that qualification at a fraction of price at home in Kenya, at Kisii Polytechnic and other 7 polytechnics that we partner with. So we are very proud that we are part of this bigger picture, where Kenya is trying to move up with the skilled labor going abroad and bringing opportunities back home. So our promise is train locally, work globally, and we will make that happen for Kenyan youth, and we want them to support us as we bring more and more opportunities in Kenya.
And that is why today we are thinking of reforms. Some 1-2 years ago, when the president took over, the current government took over, they had to come up with a presidential working party just to look at the gaps in education. And we realized that there were so many gaps, and that is why the introduction of CPC came in. That is why the TVET's institutions are now going modular. It is because of the gaps that we had, and it was actually serious. At one point, we were not really speaking to the needs of the industry, because we would have our students studying in our learning institutions, but then the practical bit of it was really missing. And so this is exactly what we are trying to address. So in line with the reforms that are going on now, this is what we are doing and saying, can we be able to do whatever it is, fill the gaps, and then we have global standards for our people. And as we think global, of course, we are also thinking of how best can we support our own economy so that it